Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Inhabit Mars channel. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Today we're going to look at that same image we've been doing of the Sojourner rover. Before I do, this is just a little side story. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just funny. Somehow the gods at YouTube decided that I needed to listen to some Aria, which is a Russian band. They were real big still, in fact. And just out of the blue, it popped up in one of my suggestions. Now I have to tell this story so you understand why it's kind of funny and interesting to me. Back in the 90s, I was getting ready to go to Russia, and I had asked different family members, you want me to bring you anything from Russia when I come back? And my brother, who was big into hard rock and heavy metal, he says, bring me back a Russian hard rock or heavy metal CD. I'm like, okay, I don't really know anything about Russian music, but I'll find out and see what they got. So as I'm over in Russia, we were in Moscow at this point. I see one of those kiosks on the side of the street, and there's a lady there. She's selling T-shirts and CDs, of course, and things like that. So I just happened to go up and talk to her, and once again, now this is back in the you have to think about this. This is back in the 90s, so we didn't really have. Hold on, sweetie, I'm recording. We didn't really have a lot of access, so I didn't have a chance to look it up. We didn't have a lot of internet access. So anyway, I'm talking to her in Russian, and we're having a conversation. I said, yeah, I want to pick up a CD for my brother. And she said, well, what kind of music is he into? I was like, I don't know. He listens to, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, and Iron Maiden. I happen to mention Iron Maiden. She says, I've got the perfect thing for you. And she hands me this CD. It's by Aria, and it's called Igra s Ogniom, which means playing with fire. And I'm like, okay, now look at the cover art, and it's pretty cool and everything. And she says, believe me, he's going to love this. If he loves Iron Maiden, he's going to love this. So, long story short, I get back to America, and I give my brother this CD, and he's like, well, what do they sound like? What are they? What are they about? What do they sound like? And everything. I said, I have no idea. I said, I bought the CD, I put it in my stuff, I forgot all about it till I got here, and there you go. I said, I haven't listened to it. So we put it in the CD player and start playing it, and I mean, we're just like, whoa, this is really, really good. All right. Well, needless to say, I've not listened to Aria for probably, since then. That's been about 30 years. So it's just funny that out of the blue, YouTube somehow figured out that I needed to listen to Aria, and it was a song. It's called Still, which means like the calm or something like that, the calm. And so I just started listening to it. Then, of course, I had to, listen to a whole concert. So I listened to this last concert of theirs, the latest one. I don't have it up anymore. I was gonna say what was the name of it? It's gosh, forget the name of the darn concert. Anyway, it's not important. It's on their page. I'll post a link to it. But if you like Iron Maiden and heavy metal in general, you'll like them. They're really, really good. In fact, they draw a crowd that's just, thousands and thousands of people. But anyway, that had nothing to do with anything. It's just funny that popped up in one of my suggestions. And I hadn't really thought about them in all them years, but they're a really good band, and they have a huge stage presence. So if you like Iron Maiden, you like heavy metal, you'll like them. Just give them a listen. It's really good. Okay, so now let's get to what we're doing. This came from a video that was posted by Chris, like I said, back in 2018, and I'll post the link again to his page. So I've been working on this image, and this is the image here that I've been working on. Now, I took a clip from Chris's video. In fact, this is the clip from his video, and I just brought it into Blender. Okay, And so I really wanted to focus this last couple of days on this on these foreground rocks. These foreground rocks really have some interesting shapes to them. Let me click over to Blender. I almost forgot. All right, and I'm talking about these rocks right over here through this area. And I went ahead and focused on those. I did a little more, by the way, on this. Oh, shoot. Of course I did that without clicking on the page first. A little more on these buildings in the background, and I will get to those, but I still have a good bit of modeling. I'm not going to model every building because it would take an eternity to model every single one of these. But I do have some of these modeled. Like this one right here is really interesting. Okay, it seems to have these like Roman columns in the front of it. If I back out a little bit, and you can actually see some detail like windows or something. It looks like windows to me. So I worked on that one, and that's kind of what that one looks like. I have no idea how far these columns are in front. It may not even be attached to the building. It might be something separate. But they're definitely, from the angle we're looking at, they're there. They're blurry, but they're there. And they do kind of look like Roman columns. They're kind of squared at the bottom, on top. But I did work on some of these buildings. Let's see. Doesn't help if you texture them the same color as the image itself, but I think we looked at these already, these two. And then there's this is what I was talking about before, about how if these are not buildings and it's actual image artifacts, how some of these sit in front of others. And look, this one's pretty far forward as it is. Now I did think about something else. Is there a possibility that since this was done in layers, that somebody brought in maybe an image from Earth or something and used it as a backdrop image? I don't know, because I can't believe that there's an entire city just sitting there still. It looks, I mean, we can't get any detail on the buildings, but I mean, you can definitely see it was a city there. So I'm wondering that now the original image, which I did download and did the same thing that Chris did, adjusted the just hit the autocorrect and the buildings popped out. But I got that image from NASA. So if somebody did it, it was at NASA that it was done, or somebody hacked into their system or something. But either way, I can't believe that there's an entire city sitting there. And we really need to probably go explore that city if it's there. I mean, we need to get another rover, because I think the Sojourner's pretty dead. But but get another rover over there and look at this city if it's still standing. All right. So just watching my time. I want to get into some of these rocks here in the foreground. And now these are very interesting. And let's start with these two right here. Okay. So you can see these rocks. Here they are underneath my model. Oh, man, I should have brought me a drink. I'm sorry. Got something in my throat. And you can see some detail on this rock here. It's the closest one to the rover, so it should be pretty clear. And then you see this one behind it. And this is kind of what these rocks, the shape that they have. All right. I'm going to drop them back down so we can see them without colliding into the other rocks. Everything's just on a flat panel right now, and I will put this stuff into a model. But just to give you an idea what those two rocks right there look like, those, they have shapes that just, I mean, I don't think those are just rocks. I mean, look at this one here. And see the shape of that rock? And that's what I modeled here. So I don't know, but I'm going to show you one that's real interesting here in a moment. And then let's take a look at these two rocks here. Let's see, let's move these upward. Now, this has some definite straight lines in it. Okay, it looks like some sort of shape, architectural shape, like it was part of a statue. In fact, all of these were either part of a statue or something. And once again, the Sojourner is not a very big rover like Curiosity or Perseverance. So I forget what the actual height is. It's like 2.5 feet or something. Stands tall, minus the antenna right here that sticks up. But to the top of where the solar panel is, it's only a few feet tall. All right, and of course my model's not up. High definition model there because it's not the rover we're going to be focusing on. But and also this one, it kind of has these extruded edges on. They're kind of extruded outward a little bit, but it's mainly conical shape. Well, let's see what those rocks. This is what I modeled, and this is kind of what they look like. That's the shape that one seems to have, and it's a little bit concave in here between these two edges. Alright, those two edges right there. But that's pretty much the shape that it had. And then this one, let's grab that one by itself. Okay, once again, it's got the extruded edges here, and it's basically conical shape with two pieces that kind of stick out. And I try to show that here in the model. Let's see if you can you see it kind of? Well, if I hide that, you probably, that way they're not colliding. There we go. All right. So you can see those edges kind of extruded out, and then it's got this indented part here. These are definite shapes. I don't believe that this is just geology here. That this is actual. These are actual carvings. These are carved stones. All right. I have not got to this one yet. I'm really trying to work out these faces in here, and I will get that one done hopefully tomorrow because I go back to work Monday now. They told me to come back in on Monday, but this is the one I want to show you here. And this is very interesting. It's got this kind of boomerang shape or something with these two. You see, that's like the boomerang shape, and then it's got these two pointy parts that stick out in the front, and then it's got these slabs on the side of it which stick up. In this position it's vertical. All right, and then a flat piece in the middle of that, and that's what this rock, if you want to call it a rock, looks like. All right, it's got those two pieces that stick out here, and then it's got this flat piece here, and then it's got these slabs that kind of stick out like that. And this one on this side is bigger than this one. I believe it's because that one over there is eroded more, because these are pretty eroded. You could tell by the way they look that they're weathered and eroded. But it still has the shape. You can still see the shape to it. And that appears to be what that one looks like. Really interesting. If that is a natural rock formation, I'd like someone to be able to explain to me the process that formed that wind and if there was any water on Mars. You know, the water. Oh, look at that. Already 15 minutes. But so that's what I've been working on, and hopefully if I can get to it tomorrow. Well, I got a few more to model right here. I want to model those. I've got this one back here to model. Oh yeah, the one that looks like a bread loaf. I don't This thing looks like a loaf of bread. That's what it looks like. There is the shape that one has. Now it's also got this circular piece in the middle. You can see that. It's actually octagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that eighth part would be right there. It's an octagonal piece, and then it's got that circle piece in the middle, which looks like it has 4 spokes that come out, and I don't know what that is, but I haven't modeled that yet. I'm still trying to work out the details on that. But yeah, this stuff does not look like natural rock formations. I still have this piece back here that needs to get modeled. I don't know if this is one piece or these are 2 separate pieces. They kind of look like two separate pieces laying up against each other. It's hard to tell, and I'm going to try to get as much detail out of that as I can. And then you got, you know, pieces here. You got a piece here. I still haven't figured that one out yet. It looks like it's cylindrical, but it's kind of corrugated around the edge, and then it's got something in the middle. It's just hard to tell, and I don't know if I'll be able to get that any clearer. And it's farther back in there. So anyway, yeah, so that was it. That's what I worked on tonight, and I'm gonna leave a link to their well, this latest concert. It was really a good concert. It was live. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got it up here. Okay, it's called Goсть. Oh, let me get my Russian voice here. Гость Царства Теней, which basically means like a guest from the Shadow Kingdom or something. All right, and anyway, it's a good concert, and I'll put that. I'll post a link to that. You'll really enjoy it if you like Iron Maiden. So listen, you guys have. In fact, hey, I even got my Iron Maiden shirt on. See? Yay! All right. Okay. So you guys have a good evening. Stay safe out there. Please protect yourself. Wear your masks as much as possible. And just stay healthy. Oh, the person in our household that went to the hospital is back home. She's on oxygen, but they did send her home. Everything's going better. We're happy about that. So you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you on the next video.